Well, hello again, everybody, or good morning, or wherever you are watching around the world. This is round number 6 of 16 in the 2025 Formula One World Championship. We are here at Spa in Belgium, here in Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. But at the moment, it is a three-way fight in the Drivers' Championship. Charles Leclerc leads the championship, Hamilton second in the championship, and Kimi Antonelli is third in the Drivers' Championship. And as well as in the Constructors, Ferrari still has a good sizable gap in the Constructors' Championship, a 100-point lead over Red Bull and a 108 lead over McLaren. As the battle for P6 also in the Constructors between Aston Martin, Haas, Alpine, and the Williams team. But now, here's a look at the track map. We are above sea level today, 44 laps. There's at least 19 turns around this facility here in the Ardennes Forest. The elevation change is about 102 meters. And of course, Lewis Hamilton has won here before. And of course, Sebastian Vettel holds the lap record. Now, as for the Drivers and Constructors Championship, Jesse, what do the three drivers need to do of Hamilton and Kimi Antonelli?
Well, what Hamilton and Antonelli need to happen is they want to make sure that Charles Leclerc has some sort of problem. I mean, it is soaking wet here in Spa.
Yeah, I mean, it is downpouring, but now, here's a look now at the starting grid for the Belgian Grand Prix. Kimi Antonelli for Mercedes was out in Q1, so he'll start last with Nico Hülkenberg in 19th, as well as Alex Albon in 18th, and 17th is going to go to Gabriel Bortoleto, and the other Mercedes of George Russell. So basically, both Mercedes had issues in qualifying. So Russell 16th, Antonelli 20th, Carlos Sainz will start 15th in the Williams, Ollie Behrman 14th in his Haas, Fernando Alonso will start 13th in his Aston Martin. Of course, that battle for P6 up for grabs, as well as Alpine and basically 9th in the Constructors. 10th will go to Esteban Ocon. Yuki Tsunoda holds 9th, as well as we move into now the next row. It is Jack Doohan for the Alpine team, and his lowest grid start this season, Max Verstappen 7th at the moment. And then Lando Norris 6th. Isaac Hadjar, once again his best qualifying. He hasn't had that best qualifying since Canada of round 1. And then it's Liam Lawson for Red Bull, out-qualifying his teammate. Lewis Hamilton 3rd. Oscar Piastri on the front row. And the championship leader of Charles Leclerc starting on pole position. And now, here's a look at both drivers and constructors. Antonelli holds 3rd. Hamilton 2nd. Ferrari hold the lead over Red Bull. McLaren 4th or 3rd. Mercedes run 4th in the Constructors' Championship. And now, as well, for P6, Aston Martin, Alpine, Haas, Williams, and of course, the Sauber team. As well for P5, between Mercedes and the Racing Bulls. But now, it is time to go racing here in Spa. It is downpouring. Who will get the best? It's like 10 away to go. Charles Leclerc is doing well. Where goes the Piastri? And there goes Liam Lawson and Isaac Hadjar. And pushing Charles Leclerc was Lando Norris, the World Championship leader. What's wide? And the not going to win well. Neither does teammate of Lewis Hamilton. George Russell's up to 10.
A nightmare start for Ferrari. That's going to give the advantage over to McLaren and Red Bull. But now you can just see Charles Leclerc. I mean, he is struggling. The World Championship leader, but just no grip out there at all.
As now they come through Leclerc, it's Oscar Piastri that leads from Isaac Hadjar. And then a couple of more. Lando Norris runs 6th. Gasly 7th. A huge start there for the Alpine team. Then it's Leclerc. Russell passes his former teammate of Lewis Hamilton. And now Max Verstappen. Remember, he was up there. Verstappen was up there. He's fallen all the way down to 16th. So now it really wasn't a good start for the Red Bull. But now, Charles Leclerc really struggling out there. There's no problem. Gasly slowed up through the no-name corner. There's contact. Leclerc and Gasly touched. And now, with that kind of damage, and once again, Gasly has a little problem. I think it's the invisibility that's causing these drivers to really slow up. And then Charles Leclerc running wet again. The championship leader now gets hit by Pierre Gasly. What a move by Gasly to get around Charles Leclerc, but now Leclerc is trying to fight back. Can he do it? No, not through this corner at the moment. Gasly holds on to the 7th as Charles Leclerc rides the curve, and now he's going to try to get the better exit. Oh, he runs wide. Leclerc goes up, and Charles Leclerc slides. Around he goes. Slides championship leader. Now it looks like he's got the car stuck. If he can keep it going. And now the safety car is out, but Charles Leclerc trying to keep the foot. He's got his foot flat on the floor, and he's got it out, and that gravel's soaked. Once again, he gets it stopped, and now he finally gets it out. But Charles Leclerc went from at least running 8th to falling to 20th. Lost a lot of spots in that particular corner. It all started when he tried to make the move, but it all happened in the no-name corner when he and Pierre Gasly made contact, and that really hurt the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc.
What happened is that he went that corner way too fast, trying to catch it to Pierre Gasly, and he just overshot that corner. And I think when he got on that green paint, it just caught the rear end of the car, and that car went sliding into the grass. But I'm not seeing a lot of damage to that SF25 of that Ferrari HP, so the World Championship leader may be okay, but he might have some downforce issues.
Race will come to us.
But with only 10 laps to go, Jesse, or with only like 9 laps to go, I just don't see Charles Leclerc coming back home to the points. I know that Ferrari is fast, but after that hit with the wall, that might cause issues for Charles Leclerc. I know he's trying to hold on to his championship lead over Hamilton and Kimi Antonelli, who would fall out of 3rd because he runs 19th. But that Ferrari may not be very pacey, and Hamilton may retake the championship lead if he can get it back up there. But how about this? It's actually Liam Lawson who still runs 2nd, but Isaac Hadjar running 3rd. But ahead of them is Oscar Piastri, who runs in the P1 position.
And guys, we gotta flop on Oscar Piastri. This man has just not had the season he's won. He's been so close to so many wins, but so far this season still hasn't had any wins. He's outqualified his teammate though, but still with no wins and still no poles. Can he get that illusional win this day, or will he have to wait for another win? Oh no, let's Leclerc go on wide there.
Charles Leclerc runs wide, but luckily keeps it on the racetrack. But this man, after spinning out, looks like is now struggling with the handling of that wing. But now we believe the safety car will be coming in the next lap.
And you know, Charles Leclerc has made so many mistakes this season. He crashed out in his home Grand Prix in Monaco when he pushed a little bit too much. I'm the safety car trying to catch up to the back of the field. And then, remember the Ferrari switch when they switched the cars of Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, which, you know, Hamilton won that race for the Ferrari team, the most famous team that's won 17 constructors and 15 drivers championships. But now we know the safety car will be coming in the next lap. So Charles Leclerc will to restart at the back of the field, as Kimi Antonelli still hasn't made any progress, only 19th.
Meanwhile, Lando Norris still runs in the top 10, but it's Oscar Piastri, his teammate, who leads the Grand Prix. But how about Isaac Hadjar? He is up to 3rd, and Esteban Ocon runs in 3rd. The Haas team with a great start after the 2 Ferraris just did not get away well. And this is the one problem with Ferrari, and in these conditions, they haven't had the speed in the rain. Yes, I know they've been trying to work on it, but Ferrari just doesn't have the pace in the wet condition. In the dry condition, they get great traction, but it's just in these type of conditions where they just struggle to get a launch off the 5 red lights as Charles Leclerc goes wide. But this is the one problem with Ferrari and the whole Maranello team. They have got to get these rain situations under control, because now they have a lot of pressure in the Constructors' Championship with Red Bull of Liam Lawson, and the McLarens now starting to cut their lead in half as Max Verstappen runs 16th, Charles Leclerc 20th, and Lewis Hamilton runs in 10th position, while the 2 Papayas run 1st and 4th. That's such a great day for the McLaren team. They could win the Belgian Grand Prix. They haven't won the Belgian Grand Prix since 1999, their last Belgian Grand Prix. And Ferrari haven't won the Belgian Grand Prix since 2019. So it's really between these two. Who will pick up their first ever who will pick up the Constructors' Championship win? Will it be the McLaren team from 1998? Ferraris, especially last year, or will be Red Bull since 2023. So basically 3 teams fighting for the World Constructors Championship. Ferrari, Red Bull, and McLaren. But it's all now to play for as we get ready to restart. The safety car is coming in. Oh, and look at this. Interesting strategy for McLaren. They're going to be pitting Lando Norris. So Lando Norris will be pitting as he comes into the pit scene. So does Pierre Gasly for Alpine. Unbelievable. Gasly, Norris coming. Here we go. Back to the restart zone. And Esteban Ocon leads this Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc, look at the drivers and constructors at the moment. It is unbelievable. Hamilton gains positions. Charles Leclerc disqualified from the race. Pulling out before the start-finish line. Unbelievable. Look at that. The Constructors Championship, Ferrari and McLaren, 88. But look at the Constructors Championship, Haas 6, Aston Martin 7. Unbelievable. And you can see the battle for 5th in the Constructors, Mercedes and the Racing Bulls. Esteban Ocon for Haas pick up their first win. Liam Lawson, who will be in his final race for Red Bull, but he goes back down to Racing Bulls. Then it's Piastri, George Russell, Isaac Hadjar, Hamilton, Jack Dillon, Lance Stroll, Max Verstappen, I think Gasly, Behrman, Antonelli, Norris, Yuki will be promoted up to Red Bull. And then Fernando Alonso, Bortoleto, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Albon, and Charles Leclerc, who was disqualified. And now the championship. Charles Leclerc leads it by 7 points. Oscar Piastri moves into 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. Then Lawson, Antonelli, Hadjar, and Max Verstappen, your top 7. In the Constructors, it is still Ferrari with the advantage. As this will conclude the Belgian Grand Prix, we will see you in Germany for the German Grand Prix. Goodbye.